You're watching Joynews Prime, and the governing New Patriotic Party NPP says it has fulfilled its promise to improve education in the country. Communications Director of the party, Buabeng Asamoah, told a news conference in Accra the NPP government has improved the conditions of service for teachers in the last 4 years and rolled out programs such as the teacher licensure exam that will ensure the professional development of teachers.
We have also moved away from the former expensive and laborious face-to-face process, which was riddled with perceptions of corruption and victimization. Now, we are doing an aptitude test. The substantive progress in creating a system that is more efficient through the aptitude testing makes sure that teachers are fairly treated when it comes to promotion. Moreover, newly promoted teachers see a reflection of the adjustment of their salaries within 1 month of being promoted. That is a major success for teachers. Teachers who acquire postgraduate degrees in their field get promoted earlier than others. You are promoted within 2 years instead of 4 years. Not so long ago, under the poor, weak, and directionless leadership of candidate Mahama and his running mate, the economy was so bad that a 3-month pay policy was the order of the day. Hard-working, freshly recruited teachers were paid only 3 months' salary, denied their economic rights because of incompetent economic management. This barefaced policy injustice accumulated and formed part of what became known as the legacy arrears that the NPP government inherited. Happily, so far, over 91% of those arrears have been paid. Teachers who were denied years of hard work have now been paid for those years. Conditions of service are also being diligently worked on. In partnership, the Ministries of Education and Finance, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and union leaders are in the forefront of this process. In August 2020, the Ministry of Education signed a collective agreement with 3 specific teacher unions representing pre-tertiary teachers in the country. This is testament that this government believes in the welfare and well-being of the teacher. The conditions of service which are going to be enjoyed by these unions cover vehicle maintenance allowance, kilometric allowance, night allowance, allowance for teachers in deprived and difficult areas, retention allowance, protective clothing allowance, advance to purchase means of transport, salary allowance, special allowance, transfer grant, and permanent posting allowance. Enjoyed by a large number of teachers also is responsibility allowance.
The party has also described the NDC's promise of eliminating the double-track system as unrealistic, shameless, and desperate.
Over the last 3 years, as you've been told very often, nearly 1,000 structures are ongoing throughout the free SHS system, including dormitories, classroom blocks, laboratories, and all manner of buildings to support the process. This is under the gov't securitization process. Any promises, therefore, by the clueless NDC leadership to abolish double track in 7 months is unrealistic, it's shameless, and it is desperate. It is obvious that the NCC does not understand the double track system and have no real commitment to free SHS. They still cannot answer the singular question that their pipe dreams about education reform poses. The question is, whose child stays at home whilst you are tinkering with free SHS? Whose child stays at home whilst you are threatening to cancel double track in 7 months?
Meanwhile, the Deputy Coordinator at the Free SHS Secretariat, Nana Amatima Boachi, says Vice President Baumia's claim that 80% of schools have been connected to Wi-Fi only means that the infrastructure for the purpose has been built.
The contract was awarded earlier this year. The company that won the contract, is the Internet, was supposed to connect all senior high schools 721 of them. And then all colleges of education, all offices of the Ghana Education Service, and then all offices of the Ghana Library Authority. Just before I came here, the committee that was set up to assess the work of the company, SAT, they have connected over 800 centers. So the 800 centers comprise of all these organizations that I mentioned. They have brought us 330 SRAs signed and stamped to confirm that the hardware connection has been done. The head of CHAS that I spoke with may not see the Wi-Fi working because they need to connect the whole network before we go live. And so the hardware connections have been done. And so if you give me the name of the school, I will tell you if it's been done. And if it's been done, I could actually give you an SRE signed and stamped by the head of the school to confirm that indeed the connection has been done.
Member of Parliament for Ashamang Ernest Henry Nogbe has petitioned the Electoral Commission to publish the provisional voters register on its website within the next 7 days. His request comes after he accused the EC of gross dishonesty over the omission of some 21,000 names from the register. In a letter addressed to the EC chairperson, Jane Mensah, Mr. Nogbe noted his request is in consonance with the constitutional instrument 126, which regulates the upcoming elections. He tells Joynews he will go to court if the EC does not comply.
I'm just asking the Electoral Commission to publish the provisional register on their website as demanded by the CI 91. When you look at CI 91, Regulation 23.3, it emphasizes that the Electoral Commission, in addition to the exhibition of the register at the various police stations, they should as well publish the provisional register onto their website. I want to believe the rationale behind this provision is to make it available, the register available to people who may not be able to go to the police station to even verify their names, and also for the general public to interrogate and then come out with some suspicious names on the register. And so I'm expecting the Electoral Commission to do the same, because as you know, during the exhibition period, there were so many anomalies to extend that some 21,000 were initially deleted from the register in Ashamang, and later they were all restored. And so people are...
So all the list has been restored?
Yeah, all of them.
Including yourself?
Including myself now have been restored onto the register. But the electorate are still skeptical. They don't know what would be the result come December 7th, whether their names will be well captured onto the register or they will go and see their names during the voting period. And so in publishing this register, provisional register on their website, it will give everybody the opportunity to access it and keep track of details of the register, and also recommend any anomaly to the commission to be done before 7th December. Well, definitely, I don't know, I cannot preempt their response yet, but I'm very much optimistic that if they refuse to do same, as the law prescribes, then we have to seek legal remedy, because we have to write to the court for the court to order them put mandatory injunction on them to do the needful